There you are.
Good day, folks. It's Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today we're over here at the Lifetime Lease Farm, and Steve and Cindy took off to go to Texas for a bit. They're going to be back here in a little bit, but we needed to mow the yard, and I didn't want to fire up the lawnmower, so we put 220 head or whatever it was in here yesterday, and just gave them this section, the yard. We had a fence over here on this side of the driveway, so they're in there very tight, and we're just seeing how good a job they did mowing. Folks, they really did an awesome job. I mean, you can't really look out across this landscape anywhere and see grass that wasn't nipped off. They didn't overgraze it from a lawn standpoint. Now, on a pasture, I would never keep my pasture this short, but it's a lawn.
How long were they here?
4 hours. So we put them in here about 8:30 and took them out about 12:30. But we did fence off the pond, so they couldn't get into the pond. And we don't want to muck that up, especially right here in front of the house. Of course, the house, the garage, the hunter's cabin, everything had a wire around it, so they couldn't rub on it. And the little rock garden here, they put a windmill up. We didn't want them in there bumping that around, so we put a wire around that. And then there was, I saw a calf going after Cindy planted flowers in the middle of an old dead tree stump over there. And I saw a calf going up there to the lake to grab. I went, no, stop. I got the calf away, and I hollered at Isaac, let's get a wire put around that, because those calves would eat all the flowers out of that stump. So there's stuff like that you got to do when you're grazing a yard like this. But
yeah, and this is a real yard.
It is. It's a yard. But it's also a paddock that we graze, especially, you know, as dry as it's been, and every day that, or, you know, if you get a half a day somewhere and not have to mow the yard. And they also fertilized it pretty well. There's manure paths, and of course you can't see the urine patches, but I wanted to bring Jan with us. Let's go over here on the back of the dam. We never get a very good graze because it's pretty steep. And so what we did is we put a wire around it and just locked them in there for about 15 minutes. Let's see what they did.
Hey, Greg.
Yep.
Why is there a dead tree in the pond?
Steve put a couple of those in there, and he's got them staked to the bottom of the pond where they can't float around, and that's where you catch your fish at, because they attract bait fish. So the little fish can go in there and survive, and the big ones, it's kind of like a brush pile for rabbits getting away from coyotes. So we have those in all of our ponds that we put up. We put in a lot more than that. We'll put, you know, 8 or 10 sometimes in one pond, and your fish growth is double. What I mean by that is the more cover you put in there, you're going to have more bait fish, because there's more survival. And you got more bait fish, the bigger fish, your bass and the catfish, they can grow quicker because there's going to be more to eat.
Hmm.
Yeah. You can see where the fence started. Now, this fence wasn't hot, but you can tell the cattle did not graze past that wire anywhere around this fence. That's called broke cattle. So when you get cattle really broke good to hot wire, your poly is your friend. You can do so many beautiful things with it. It just gives you so much flexibility.
Well, and you can see what the grass height was.
Yep. Before and after.
Yeah.
Yep.
Literally.
Yep. So you can see it's fairly steep right here. What I almost went to the bottom. What I was trying to do was just to get in and trample it on the ground, and there was quite a bit of weeds and stuff in here, and they ate on the weeds, and they picked the grass, and they hollered at me. They were not happy because we had them in there very tight. So we call that making them work. We made them work for like 10 to 15 minutes. They just kind of walked back and forth on the side of this dam, and you know, it is uncomfortable standing on here. You always feel like you're falling downhill, and that's part of the reason the cows were upset. But look what they did. They laid this all on the ground, so the next time it grows back, it's going to be very vegetative. We fed the soil a ton of carbon, compliments of the hooves. Yeah, I like it. Everything in here kind of got stomped, which is what we were trying to do. So I'm very happy with our mowing job that the cattle did here, and we bought 4 to 5 hours, and the cattle were so happy because the grass was so tender. It'd been mowed, you know, as a lawn all summer, and so I think Steven's been gone a couple weeks, and so it had, you know, we got that good rain, and so it came up. It was just perfect. It was just so tender, and I can't believe it. I mean, they weed eated it. I mean, even the trees, all the trees. There's no grass around the trees.
Right. Which a lawnmower would have done, and we would have to come back and weed eat it.
Exactly. So, and another thing about mowing your yard with cattle, folks, is make sure it's not wet. It's dry out here already. I mean, we've had all that rain, but we're in clay. It's been in the hundreds. And with the wind, yesterday the wind blew pretty much all day, 24 mile an hour.
Yep.
It took a lot of that moisture back. So we're not, you know, we're not complaining. We are so blessed to have gotten all that rain, and
Which is creating heavy dews in the morning.
yes, thank the Lord for the rain. That's right.
And the heavy dews.
The dews. I mean, my boots are wet.
My pants are wet up to my knees.
I haven't seen wet boots all summer long. I mean, we literally would put our leather shoes on to go do chores in the morning because there was no risk of getting your feet wet. That's how dry the ground was. So it's nice to be able to wear my high sayas. These are my summer boots, and I love them. I love them.
I want to get some of the garden boots because I really like the shorter boots.
Yeah.
I got the long ones.
Folks, you can buy these if you put in high say, go to the website and put in, what is it? It's Greg's Boots. That's the code. You get 15% off. So.
And they're very affordable boots.
They are. I mean, you're looking at I don't know, whatever it is. I think it's a $79 boot.
Yep.
And you go to Bass Pro and buy that same boot, it's going to be $179. I know, because that's where I used to buy all my boots.
Or more.
Or more. I gave $200 for some of those boots. They didn't last 3 months. I mean, they crack open. They always crack right there. So far, I don't have a whole one in these, and the sole's staying on them. So I really can't complain about them. So anyway.
Yeah, I like, since I don't have the garden boots, I have my other brand of short boots on today. Going home, it's because they don't have that kickstand thing on the kick off. It's very hard to get these shoes off. So
that's
I'm
the
definitely.
one when you got to give me your foot and you put your other foot against my butt and push.
Nah, it's not that bad. Not that bad.
Oh gosh, boy, it's gonna be warm today, Jan.
I know. I will be cleaning off the porch, hosing that off, and doing computer work.
Yeah.
Might even start a quilt.
Yeah, I seen you laying one out last night.
Yep.
Another one.
Yep. This is my mom's group. They're short on comfort quilts. They're quilts that someone's house burns down or floods or some catastrophe.
Okay.
They don't have a quilt to put in.
So your mom's quilting club makes these.
Yeah, they quilt also for customers like me.
Right.
But then they do these comfort quilts for other people in need. And they don't have any top, so I'm going to come up with a top for them after.
You say top, the top of the quilt.
Yeah, a quilt top. And so I kind of feel bad. I feel lucky I've got 3 quilts done because the other ladies haven't gotten their quilts done, and they don't have a comfort quilt to put in.
Early bird gets the quilt.
Yeah, yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, folks, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. It's getting warmer, and I still got a few things I got to do this morning before it reaches 100 degrees. But those of you all new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Some of you all wanting to come to that grading school, we still got a few spots. That's the September 8th and 9th.
Yep, and this is the place it's held at.
Yeah, it's a 2-day.
A beginning school.
It's a beginning school. We're going to have Abram here covering sheep and cattle and grazing and water and fence, and just a great 2 days. So probably see some of you all there. Everyone have a great day, and we'll see you next time.